Hi everyone! So in my last video, I totally lied to you guys. I said it was going to be my last kind of beauty themed video, and I actually forgot that before I left for Mexico I promised you guys a review of the Sunless Tanner product that I had been using that I really loved. So I'm going to go ahead and review that for you today. And then I also thought of some other things I wanted to discuss that were kind of beauty related as far as preparations leading up to your wedding day. So I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit of everything today, so if you're interested in hearing what I have to say, stay tuned. Okay, so let's get started with the Sunless Tanner review. And like I said before, this was a product that I used and applied before I left for Mexico because it was winter. I was very, very pale. So I was really looking for just a little bit of extra color just so I wouldn't stand out too much. And I love this product, and it's something that I never would have even considered had I not read and researched reviews on it. And it is the Banana Boat Summer Color Self-Tanning Lotion. And I was doing a bunch of research before I left for Mexico, a couple weeks beforehand actually, just because I had tried so many Sunless Tanners previously. I've tried the Jergens, I've tried the Dove, I've tried the Vaseline brand, I've tried everything, and I never was really super happy with any of the ones that I had used. So I started to do some research, and basically how I found this one was I just went to drugstore.com and I just typed in Sunless Tanner and I sorted them by reviews, and this one actually had the best reviews. So I researched it further and came upon a YouTube review of this product from the woman that runs Beauty Broadcast, and I'm going to actually put that link down below because she's really awesome. Because she actually does a lot of drugstore product reviews and gives away a lot of really good tips, so I really like her. So she reviewed this product and it was very favorable, so I decided to just go ahead and buy it. In the winter months, this is really hard to find in drugstores, unfortunately. I could not find it in Walgreens or CVS or even Target, so I did have to order off of drugstore.com, and then a few days later I went into Ulta and they had it, so I was kind of upset because I spent like $7 on shipping or something ridiculous like that. So Ulta does have this. If you do have a store near you, they carry it in the winter months as well. And this is just a self-tanner, but I think it's a little bit different in that the results are almost instant. I'm going to just show you the product when it comes out. It's actually this brown color. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So you can actually see like the color on your skin as you're applying it. So it does say that it is streak free. I did find that to be pretty much true for the most part because you can see the product onto your skin. So as you're rubbing it in, it's not like it's invisible like a lot of those other self-tanners are. You can really see where you're putting the product, and when you're done rubbing it in, it almost looks like you already do have this really healthy glow. So it's almost instantaneous results, and I really liked that. I did find that once you let this stuff dry, and it doesn't take long to dry, it did not come off on any clothes that I had, and I do sleep in an ivory duvet cover, and then when we were in Mexico I was sleeping in white sheets and it never once came off. I was really impressed with that because previously some self-tanners that I have used have come off on clothes and stuff, which is super annoying. The only issue that I had with this stuff was that, and this was actually my own fault, I did not rub it properly into my toes. And so I had like really, really tan feet and splotchy toes. So kind of a downfall, but that was actually my own fault. I really just did not take the time to rub it into my toes. I was very lazy when I put this stuff on. I was not super careful, and like the rest of my body was pretty much streak free. So besides my toes, it was pretty much good. And then I did find that after I was using it for a few days in a row, like the creases in my elbows would start to get a little bit darker than the rest of my skin. But a really good trick to prevent that is to just take a tissue once you've applied it and just dab it like into your elbows, any creases like your knees, anything like that, and it prevents those dark lines from forming. And I started to do that and then they went away. So it really wasn't a problem so much, but I find that with every self-tanner I really have to do that anyway. This stuff retails I think for $6.99 or $7.99 at most drugstores, and I did get the deep dark color formula. It does come in a formula for light to medium skin, but the reviews that I was finding online said that that didn't really do much even if you were very fair. So I decided to go for the deep dark color because on the bottle it says for all skin tones. So I was like, well, you know, I'll give it a shot, and I think that this was the perfect amount of color for me. So yeah, I thought it did really give me a natural glow. I didn't feel like it was overly orange. I do have yellow undertones to my skin, so products like this can look very orange on me, and I felt that it was really good. Another benefit to this is that it is oil free, so you can use it on your face, which I thought was really cool. I did use it on my face, but the only downside to that is because I use a toner and a moisturizer at night to kind of like take off all of my makeup. Most of this product comes off at night, so you really kind of have to just apply it like in the morning before you put on your makeup, and you will have to invest in a different foundation to put over this stuff to kind of even out your skin tone, because you are going to be a little bit darker. So I think for vacation I took just a Rimmel long lasting foundation with me. I think it was like $6 at Ulta. So yeah, so that's the stuff. I really like it. I totally recommend it. And the reason I wanted to review a sunless tanner for you guys is I know, as I said before in my intro, a lot of brides want that healthy glow on their wedding day, and I don't see anything wrong with that, especially if it is summer. Make a little bit of highlight on your collarbone or just a healthy glow on your face or what have you. I do think this is a really good alternative for the airbrush tanners if you are looking for just a less expensive self tanner. I think it'll save you a good amount of money, and once you get to the desired color that you want, you don't really have to apply it very often. I think once I got to the color I was looking for, I really only applied it like every 3 days or so, so it is kind of low maintenance, and that's one thing I really do like about this stuff. So a really good cheap alternative to airbrush tans is the Banana Boat Summer Color. So I really love that stuff. I hope you guys found that a little bit useful. A couple other things that I wanted to talk to you about are actually nails, other beauty treatments that you get before your wedding, like facials, stuff like that. A really good thing right now that I'm loving is the no-chip manicures. I've got them before. I don't have one on now, so I can't really show you the results or anything, but a really good place in Chicago if you are local is CiCi Nails on Lincoln. I'll put the link down below for you. I think they somehow started to revolutionize the whole no-chip thing. I think they're the ones that really fine-tune the formula, and they have an array of colors. I think it's such a great thing, especially for special events like weddings, because maybe you don't want to spend the extra time the day before your wedding getting a manicure, because they can be kind of time consuming, and a regular manicure just takes so long to dry. You constantly have to worry about chipping. And with the no chip, because it is a UV gel that is painted onto your nails, it seriously just does not chip. It's kind of a long process going in. It's like they have to paint one finger, they have to stick it into the UV machine, and then they paint another finger and they stick it in. You get several coats of it done, especially for lighter colors. But once you leave the salon after about an hour, the stuff does not move. It is just like, I don't know, it's amazing. It's just an amazing product. I was like picking off like stickers off of glassware with my no chip manicure, and they were not chipping. I was doing tons of housework and stuff like that. They just don't chip. It's just absolutely amazing, and it lasts for 2 to 4 weeks. Mine were lasting 4 weeks if I got a lighter color, and the only reason that they only last 4 weeks is because you get nail growth from underneath, from your cuticle, and it starts to have like that empty gap. So that is really the only reason you'd ever have to have it redone. But I was finding that the actual color never chipped, and I kept mine on for 4 weeks once, and it was awesome. So I really recommend that, just because sometimes it is difficult to make time the day before your wedding to get your nails done, and then worrying about chipping and all that stuff. As far as pedicure, I wouldn't recommend splurging on the no chip pedicure, just because I find that pedicures don't really chip that easily anyway. So that's a good way to save money on your toes, is just get a regular manicure on your toes, spring for the no chip on your fingers. No chips are kind of expensive. I believe on average in the city of Chicago they're about 40 to 50 plus tip, but they last you a really long time. So I think for a special occasion it's definitely worth the extra cost, just because you're not constantly worrying if it's going to chip. I definitely wouldn't, for me personally, I don't get it done on a regular basis just because it is kind of costly. If you do get manicures on a regular basis, it might end up saving you some money, but because I think I'm pretty good at doing my own, I paint my own nails, and then for special occasions I'll go out and I'll get a no chip. So that's my little spiel on nails. So I'm actually going to tell you guys the color that I'm wearing on my nails right now, and it's called Steel Gray, and it's by Rimmel, and it's like $3 or $4 at the drugstore. I get stopped on the street sometimes. People ask me what this color is, and I was at the Chanel counter in Macy's one time when I was wearing this, just like browsing, and the woman was like, "Is that one of our colors?" And I was like, "No, it's Rimmel. It's like $3 at the drugstore." And she was like, "Oh my god, it's so gorgeous." So I just want to tell you guys about this. I got mine at Target, and I've still seen the color around at different drugstores. So if you're interested in a new nail color for the season, I definitely recommend Steel Gray by Rimmel. Moving on to another thing that I want to discuss as far as just like general beauty treatments before your wedding. I know a lot of brides really want to splurge and get like facials and things like that, and I think that's great, especially if you make a whole spa day of it with your friends and your parents and stuff like that. But just please keep in mind that if you do like an eyebrow waxing or a facial, that you get those things done at least a week before your wedding, because you don't want any weird reactions on your face. And as you guys know from waxing your eyebrows, I've actually never had waxing done. I always tweeze, but I know people that do waxing. The redness that can occur, especially if you have a reaction with the wax that they're using. So use a trusted beautician for your waxing, so you know that you're not going to have an allergic reaction if you do have sensitive skin, and get it done at least a week before your wedding so that you don't have any residual redness on top of your eyebrows. But I mean, if you guys do regular waxings, I'm sure you know that already, but I just like to remind people. And then as far as facials, if you want to splurge and get a facial for that extra glow to your skin for your wedding, same thing, get it done a week beforehand, just because it is kind of an intense process. I did have a facial recently for the first time, and they do a lot of pore extractions and things like that, and you just want to make sure that you're not going to be really, really red on the day of your wedding. So about after a week, you still have that nice healthy glow. So I'd recommend that as well. And then one final thing I would really like to recommend to you guys is, if you can afford it, if you can go ahead and splurge on this, I think a massage is a really good way to kick off your wedding weekend. I know that it's definitely a splurge for most people, but it really just relaxes you. It just makes you calm down. Just moving around the muscles in your back and the tissues, it just really changes your whole outlook, and it just really puts you in a very, very relaxed state of mind. And I think it's really helpful, especially for people that tend to be anxious or nervous. I know that I was on our wedding day. I was so nervous just because I was going to be the center of attention, and it was kind of like overwhelming for me. I didn't get a massage until we were on our honeymoon, but when we had one, that was the first massage I'd ever had, and I totally became a believer in them. They just transform my state of mind. It's absolutely amazing. And so now I try to get massages as often as I can, because I really do believe in the health benefits that they offer. So that is one thing. I'd actually recommend a massage over a facial any day. So yeah, that's my little last minute beauty tip for you guys. I hope that you guys found these videos useful. Like I said before, I'm not an expert by any means. These are just things I know have worked for me and have worked for other clients in the past as well. So I do want to tell you guys a little bit about what I have coming up for you as far as future videos. I found these little containers. I don't know if you can see them at the Container Store, and I usually actually use them for things like desk organizers and makeup organizers for my cosmetic stand. But when I was in the Container Store the other day, I was like, you know, we can probably use these as vases for centerpieces. If there's like a bride on a budget that's maybe looking for some unique, cheap alternatives for vases, I thought these were kind of cool. So I'm gonna play around with these and see if I can come up with a centerpiece for you guys with florals and such, and see if, you know, these are actually worth buying and investing in for centerpieces. So I'm not sure when that video will be, because I'm gonna need some time to kind of develop the idea and lay it all out and everything, but I'm really excited about that. So yeah, just keep watching. I'll let you guys know when that video is up, but in the meantime, I hope that you find the rest of my videos useful. I have so much fun doing this, so I really appreciate all the feedback that I've been getting. And if you are interested in staying in touch with SHWeddings, we are on Facebook, so check that out as well. So I will leave you guys with that, and hopefully I will see you back here soon. Thanks. Bye.